While today I wanted to cover some stuff that's been popping up in my feed this week. I want to start with, man, where should we start with? Maybe Jodi Hildebrandt. Jody Hildebrandt, there was a search warrant that was executed on the day that she was arrested. And I think maybe the day afterwards, they went back, maybe got some of the electronic devices. I have to look at the dates. Oh gosh, hold on. Let me fix my overlays. I got the wrong chat up. Oh, wait, no, this is the right chat. Oh, hi, this is YouTube chat. Hello, what's going on? How are you guys all doing today? And then afterwards, I want to talk about the Kouri Richins letter. If you guys forgot who Kouri Richins was, she is the mom or widow who wrote a book for her children about grief. She's now been accused of murdering her husband with fentanyl by putting it in his Moscow meal about a year and a half ago. So she's currently being held right now. And yeah, there's been oh man, there's a lot going on with this woman. I'll definitely recap it just for you guys in case you guys forgot, because there are definitely some things that I wanted to chat about with her. But I think we'll start with the shorter one, which is with Jodi Hildebrandt and Ruby Frankie. They were supposed to have a sort of like hearing on Monday, and Monday I was pretty busy, but I was told by, I think Taxi, you're the one who said in the Discord that the hearing was actually postponed because there was a copious amount of evidence that the defense wanted to go over. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of stuff going on. Hi, everyone. Offline, sorry. I was fiddling around with my stream. Hi, Madison. Hi, Taxi. Mariah, hello. You just finished cooking some pork chops. Loaded and, oh, locked and loaded. Hello, hello. That sounds good, pork chops. You guys, can you guys hear the audio okay? Hi, Shiny King. Hello, hello. I have artists, or is it Artie's? Oh, Artie's Fleetwood. Maybe I should put my glasses on. Daniela, hi. Yeah, I think the last time I streamed was, I mean, I did stream last week, but we did a pretty extensive stream with the Murdoch stuff, right? We had Alex Murdoch last week showed up for the state financial crimes, and they're going to actually start the trial for that, I think in November, if I remember correctly. Yeah, in like 2 months in November. Harpootlian and Griffin, they didn't want to go through with it because they thought it was way too soon. And then afterwards, we had his co-conspirators, Corey Fleming was sentenced. And who was the other guy again? There was another guy. Oh, it was Russell Lafitte, the banker. I think he's going to have to do the trial as well. But man, we've got some updates with some other cases. But yeah. Ruby and Jody know that they're screwed, the Shiny King. I wonder what's the new evidence that came up. That hasn't been revealed yet, but apparently there's been some new evidence against them, and yeah, they just need time to review it. Have you watched the new Netflix season of the Murdoch trial? I don't think so. I think the only one that I've seen was the boat one. Yeah, that's the only doc that I've seen so far. Apparently there's like a doc on HBO, and what's the Murdoch one called? No, you were right the first time. It's spelled Arties, but pronounced artist. Okay. Hello, Amsterdam. Hi, Jerome. How are you doing today? How's it going? I usually watch everything on my iPad. Let me see. I don't know, man. Now I feel like I'm a little skeptical about watching docs. Like, I feel like we got to do our research to see who's producing some of these docs, because I don't know. I heard some things about the the Depp v. Heard doc that went on. And people were like, it's very like meh. I don't know. I had a friend that did watch because she said that she watched like parts of the trial, I think, and she ended up believing Johnny Depp. But then when she watched Depp v. Heard doc, she decided to change and like believe Amber Heard. And I was like, oh, well, like on what basis do you believe Amber Heard? And she was telling me some stuff, and I was just like, okay, well, I think I was just trying to tell her like some background information on some of the things. But anyways, I don't know, maybe I should just watch Depp v. Heard doc. I haven't seen it yet, but I don't know. Maybe we just got to figure out which are the ones that are. Because like anyone can make a doc nowadays, right? So we got to figure out who's making the good ones and who are the ones that are just making it just for the sake of making it, maybe not including both sides or something. I don't know, or just misrepresenting certain information. Hi, Nacho. How are you doing today? How's it going? Oh, you heard the evidence from some other YouTubers? Oh, what did they mention? What was the evidence about? I'm going to talk about the search warrant that was executed on Jodi Hildebrandt's house. Me and my friend just watched that. It was wild. His son guilty too. Most docs very biased. Really? Should I? Maybe I'll check it out then. Let's see. Murdoch murders a Southern scandal. Which one is this about? Is this about All eyes are on Alex's trial as crime scene footage and reflections from Maggie's close friend and housekeeper provide new perspectives. Oh, she was the one that wasn't she the one that testified? Was it Blanca? So there's 3 episodes so far. Oh, cousin Eddie breaks his silence. All right, no, maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. I haven't watched the Have You Heard one yet. The Kouri letters are insane. Oh, dude, oh my goodness, these people are just providing the content, man. Because did you see her explanation for it for the letters? It's wild. Oh, jeez. Okay. I think I am going to start with the Jodi Hildebrandt search warrant stuff first, because the Kouri Richins one, I do want to read the court doc on that, and that's a little bit, it's a couple pages, okay? So we'll start with the Jodi Hildebrandt one, but man, thank you. I was named after, my beloved grandma. The doc is just a bunch of other people's content put together. It's meh. Yeah, lady, and I remember, I don't remember who it was. Was it the lawyer you know? I think Tragos mentioned, was it him? I forgot who. Maybe it was him. Mentioned that, like, had they actually read or like gathered information from the unsealed court docs or even like the sidebars, they would actually know why certain evidence wasn't let in, because they made it seem like, the judge was so biased, maybe, I don't know, and then like, wouldn't let Amber Heard have a lot of her evidence in that was like, that showed that she was telling the truth and stuff like that. I don't know. My friend believed that part, and then that's why she was starting to go to team. Well, she's like, I don't know. She went over to like team Amber Heard, but that's what some other YouTubers had recently covered, and honestly, it's hard to read without breaking down. Okay. It's a quick watch for sure. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I think right now with the mental state that I'm in, I've just been watching a lot of things that are just like happy stuff. I don't know. I watched the Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and there's a beginning part where Rocket gets like injured and they're like trying to like stabilize his life and bring him back or whatever. And like, dude, I started crying, man, because I was just so fucking sad. I was like, holy shit, I can't watch this, And my friend was like, oh yeah, throughout the entire movie, it's like there's a lot of animal stuff in there that you probably don't want to watch right now. And I was like, yeah, we'll just chill on it. So I don't know. I've been aside from all the true crime stuff that I cover, I've just been watching a lot of I don't know, just happy stuff, I guess. I've been watching anime, and surprisingly enough, I usually don't like romance for Korean dramas because it's a little bit too cheesy, but I feel like it's really good at getting your mind off of like certain things. But yeah, I don't know. I told you guys, right? I was trying to watch movies that didn't have like death in it or anyone being comatose or whatever. And like, I don't know, there's just a lot of movies out there where people just die. And I'm like, oh my God, could we just not watch anything with death, please? You watched, John Wick 4 is on I think it popped up on my Amazon, I think. But I think it was one of those options where, you know how like when a movie first comes out on Amazon Prime, they only give you the option to buy it. It's only until like a couple weeks, maybe like a month later, where you have an option to rent it. So I haven't seen John Wick 4 yet, but I wanted to watch it because I know, I think Ip Man's in there, right? Donnie Yen, I think he's in it. I really like him. Wait, you hated John Wick 3? Did I like John Wick 3? I think I liked all of John Wick. I think they're all surprisingly pretty okay. Yeah. I think they're all pretty all right. Not too bad. Yay, first live. Oh, wait, you're from New Zealand. Hi, Tracy. How are you doing today? I've always wanted to go to New Zealand. New Zealand looks amazing. Also, I'm like a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so I know like they did a lot of filming in New Zealand. But yeah, I hear New Zealand's like gorgeous. Like got like beautiful beaches, beautiful like mountain areas. Like it just has everything. I want to go so bad. Definitely on my to travel list for one day. But I think getting there is probably like a pain in the butt though from where I'm at. Ugh. Have you heard even the voiceover isn't an original? It's taken from at least one YouTuber. Only one YouTube creator was asked to use their content. Oh, who was it? Oh, it's kind of hot in here. Okay, so let's start with Jodi Hildebrandt. So Jodi Hildebrandt of Connections, she's been, for the past, I don't know, for the past year plus, she's been partnering with Ruby Frankie of 8 Passengers, a very big YouTube family channel that actually stopped doing their content, I think about like a year ago, but they had about 2.5 million subscribers. Now, end of August of this year, there was a 12-year-old boy who knocked on a neighbor's house asking for food. And the neighbor was really perplexed because the child was, had duct tape around the ankles, around the wrist. And then upon closer inspection, you can kind of see some wounds and stuff. So called 911 and come to find out that it's Ruby Frankie's 12-year-old child who has been staying with Jody Hildebrandt. Now, they suspect that Ruby Franke should have known what was going on because they did say that, oh, there was a video that was posted 2 days ago. But of course, as content creators, you never really know when videos are created. Sometimes they can be created and then maybe posted like days later, weeks later, I don't know, maybe months later, who knows, right? But they have a search warrant for Jody Hildebrandt. I just want to shout out to the 8 passengers. There's like a Reddit thread for this, and they posted the search warrant on there. So this is the search warrant that I want to talk about for Jody Hildebrandt's house, and then they're going to take possession of her electronics and stuff like that too. I wonder if there's going to be like any surveillance footage or anything like that. Those are very interesting to look at, especially when you're, presenting evidence in trial. So let's start with the affidavit for search warrant. Afternoon, everyone, and Corgi. Hi, Gwendolyn. How are you doing today? The DUI guy had been contacted and worked out something. However, he was only one of other 10 YouTubers that are in it. Oh, really? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out just to watch it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just very curious about certain things, I guess. Yeah, if they have, I don't know if they do though. If they have surveillance stuff, I think it'd be really interesting. Because I feel like if you're gonna leave these kids unattended, like, yes, if they're bound, but like still, like, what if they escape? Like, wouldn't you want to have surveillance just to make sure that, like, hey, like, if one gets out of the room, you can kind of see, like, I don't know. I'm just assuming maybe there'll be surveillance, stuff like that. But we'll see. Oh, this is the Kouri Richins stuff. Let's see, affidavit. This is the Chrome. Okay. So, affidavit for search warrant. I'm going to put my glasses on. Most people at least have like a Ring now. Yeah, like a Ring cam, Nest cam, Eufy, any of those things. So, I don't know if they do. But I kind of just skimmed over this. So, maybe they will say that they found something like that. But I think it was just very generic. Like, oh, we're going to search for this. And then we found this, this, and this. But it was like very like broad. It wasn't very specific or anything. But yeah, I just skimmed this earlier. So, affidavit for a search warrant, the undersigned affiant, Sergeant Nicholas Tobler of Santa Clarence Ivans Police Department. Now, again, Santa Clara Ivans. I searched where this police department was, and apparently the Franke family, they were living all the way in Springville. Springville is kind of close to Salt Lake City, but to go from Springville all the way to Santa Clara Ivans, where Jody Hildebrandt's residence is, that's about a 2.5-hour drive. Because initially I was like, oh, maybe the two women, maybe they live near each other or something like that. Like, I'm not really quite sure what Ruby Franke's living conditions were like, or like, where she decided to move or anything. All I heard was that perhaps her husband, was not living in the house anymore for maybe like about a year. And I don't know if she was still living in her Springville house, but then maybe she like rented a place near Jody Hildebrandt, or maybe she ended up living with Jody Hildebrandt. We're not really sure. But all we know is the kids were about 2.5 hours away from their original home, which is in Springville. That your affiant has reason to believe that on the premises known as Redacted, further described as a Southwest style home in the Redacted, the home sits in a corner lot and faces Redacted with a number Redacted posted on the east side of the driveway. The home is a dark brown in color and has decorative rock affixed on the front entry. The home has a dirt rock driveway that leads off of Redacted and up on the driveway. On the person described as Jody Hildebrandt, date of birth 6/18/1969. Again, I believe Jody Hildebrandt should be around 55 or something-ish, right? Yeah, maybe 55. On the item described as property used in the commission of the criminal offense of child abuse. In the city of Ivans, county of Washington, state of Utah, there is now certain property or evidence described as... Hi, Chris. How are you doing today? So I began my first run in BG3, 10 out of 10. Also went and got leftovers, had a boil last night, like a seafood boil or like a boil on your skin. Right, most people have at least a ring now. Him crying was so sad for real. Yeah, we I don't know, maybe I was thinking about maybe we can listen to the entirety of the 911 call and then like some of the just like the police scanner stuff, but I don't know. I was like on the fence with it. I was going to, but now I'm just kind of like, I don't know, we'll see. Oh wow, that's a distance. Yeah, because I was just wondering how could the kids have been so far from their house? But again, I don't know if Ruby Franke was relocating or, maybe she did just drop off the kids to live at Jody Hildebrandt's and she just kind of went back to Springville. Not really sure. In the city of Ivans, county of Washington, state of Utah, there is now certain property or evidence described as any and all rope used to bound the victim. Duct tape style tape used to bound or cover wounds from being bound by rope, plastic, or shrink wrap used to cover injuries, and or other items used to bound or cause bodily harm to an individual. Now, I listened to, there was a interview. Actually, I listened to two interviews that Jody Hildebrandt's niece has done. Her name is Jodi Hildebrandt. And Jodi Hildebrandt also said that when she was being disciplined by her aunt, Jodi Hildebrandt, that she was also bound by rope as well. So I don't know if we're going to have more victims that are going to come out. We're going to maybe see a lot of similarities between each of the victim stories. So far, we've only had two victims come out so far. That's going to be Jodi Hildebrandt, niece of Jody Hildebrandt. Apparently, I think she mentioned that her dad was the oldest of the siblings, and I think Jody was the youngest of the siblings. Yeah. And then the second victim is going to be Adam. I listened to his interview. It was a very long interview. It was like 5 hours long on the Mormon stories, and I thought it was really interesting. So I don't know. A lot of you guys told me to listen to it, so I do appreciate you guys sending it over to me. But it's 5 hours long. I think initially you might be like, oh my God, 5 hours, that's a lot. But like it actually goes by really quickly. It keeps you like captivated the entire time. And it's extremely, extremely sad. Neighbors said that Ruby had been leaving her children on devices for weeks on end. I find that crazy. Yeah, I did hear about that for Ruby Frankie. It's crazy because a lot of people focus on Ruby Frankie initially because she's like the YouTube, former YouTube star, mom influencer, blah, 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 blah. But when the 911 call, the caller mentioned like, oh, this lady's bad, or there's always been bad things going on in her house. I was like curious. I was like, oh, what is he talking about? Like, at this point, I didn't know anything about Jody Hildebrandt. So I was wondering, why was the neighbor saying these things about Jody Hildebrandt when most of the focus was on Ruby Frankie and like, her leaving her kids alone at her home and stuff like that. So yeah, very, very crazy. And that said property or evidence was unlawfully acquired or unlawfully possessed, has been used or is possessed with the purpose of using to commit crime or conceal the commission of an offense, or is evidence of illegal conduct. Affidavit believes the property and evidence described above is evidence of a crime or crimes of, I'm just going to say CA, I guess. I'll just say CA. You guys know what I mean. The facts establish the grounds for issuance of a search warrant are, so this is going to be the police officer. I'm employed by the Santa Clarence Ivins City Police Department and have been since 2010. I am assigned to the patrol division as a sergeant. I graduated post and have basic knowledge of alcohol, drug, and street level crimes. I was assigned to the investigation division and served as detective for the Santa Clara Ivins Police Department for approximately 5 years. I have participated in numerous investigations, including property, person, and sex crimes. I've attended and completed an advanced sexual assault investigation class and crime scene academy, where I received advanced training in crime scene investigations, evidence collection, and processing. On August of 30th, 2023, officers responded to report of a CA located in Ivins. Upon arrival, officers found that a redacted had duct tape around their ankles and appears to be emaciated because the victim was abnormally thin and weak. And again, I looked up the definition of emaciated because I was just curious, emaciated versus like starvation, are they very similar? The like medical definition for emaciated is like if you lose like 20% of your original like body fat or something. Body weight. Medical personnel removed the duct tape and located open wounds. The victim informed officers and medical personnel that the wounds were from a rope that was used to tie the victim to the ground. The victim informed officers that Jody put the ropes on their ankles and wrists, and that they, now I'm going to be very, we're going to be very curious here to who is the they? Is they going to be Jody and perhaps mom Ruby Frankie? Or did Jody ask other siblings to participate in this, which is horrible? Or did Jody have other maybe accomplices, maybe other people that were part of her therapy group, or maybe other people that were employed underneath her? I don't know. Wonder who they is going to be. Used cayenne pepper and honey to dress the wounds. Cayenne pepper and honey. Like cayenne pepper, maybe because it stings. Honey. Why honey? The victim told the officer that the two other siblings were in the home when redacted left a redacted year-old. Officers identified Jody as Jody Hildebrandt and found that she resides around the corner from when the victim was located. Jody Hildebrandt's address is redacted in Ivins. Officers responded to the residence and conducted a protective sweep to ensure no other individuals were in need of emergency medical attention during the sweep. Now, remember, I don't know if you guys listened to the 911 call, but I think it's in the video that I posted previously about this entire situation. in the 911 call, the 911 caller starts getting a little bit antsy because he realizes that Jodi Hildebrandt is at her house. I think he actually saw her maybe like outside, or was it her car or something, but he realized that, hey, like Jodi Hildebrandt, she's actually home. And at some point she might come looking for this little boy, because they were sitting like in the front porch, I believe. And so he was talking to the 911 dispatcher and was like, oh, like, where are the officers at? And she's trying to figure out and locate, like if they're coming or not, or what they're doing. And I could tell, you're probably getting a little antsy because, he probably doesn't want to be confronted by this other woman who might take the boy back. The other juvenile has not been located. Oh, sorry. During the sweep, officers located one juvenile who was reluctant to speak to officers. The other juvenile has not been located. Officers identified a possible safe room in the basement that is locked and is unknown if anyone is inside. Now, when they say safe room, I wonder, why did they decide to call it a safe room? Was it just like a regular door that just had maybe a lock on it? Or was it like a bolted looking door? Like when I think of like safe room, I think of like, I don't know, like, you guys ever watched that movie with Jodie Foster called Panic Room, where it's like steel or like metal doors or something like that? And like, I don't know. I wonder, when they say safe room, what do they mean by that? Here it is. So unbelievably cruel. The they is Ruby and Jody. Yeah, but like maybe, right? I wonder who they mean. I mean, we're assuming it's Ruby and Jody, but who knows how many other individuals might have been involved in this. I don't know if Jody has other people that she employs to be involved in disciplining kids and whatever, This case is like horrible. I want to throw up thinking about it. I am requesting a search warrant to obtain any and all evidence relating to CA and to access a possible safe room to determine that there are no other victims inside. So I don't know if it's just like, I just want to know what their definition of safe room is. Maybe it's just a room that's just like locked, and they're just calling it a safe room, or maybe the kids called it a safe room. That's where they got the term from. All right. So this one, again, this is going to be the same thing. Okay, so this is, I think the judge is, okay, you are therefore commanded to make a search in the daytime, the above name or described person, vehicle, item, and purposes. Okay, so this is from the judge approving this search warrant. All right, return to search warrant. Executed on September 7, 2023. The personal property listed below or set out on the inventory attached hereto was taken from the person of Jodi Hildebrandt by virtue of a search warrant dated 30th day of August 2023. Oh, never mind. Sorry. So the search warrant wasn't on August 30th, and this is just, okay, gotcha. I was getting confused by the date at the bottom really quick. So what they find at Jodi Hildebrandt's residence. So we have Scott's tape and saran wrap, miscellaneous papers and sticky notes. We have a journal, a bowl containing a red liquid with a metal spoon. Now, I'm wondering if this red liquid may have been the cayenne pepper and the honey mixed together in a bowl. We have 2 super absorbent dressing, cold band bandage, 2 white ankle socks, cold band bandage, 2 white ankle socks. Now, I wonder, if the way that they listed this, I wonder if the bandages were kind of like on the ankle socks, or if it was like wrapped around, not really quite sure. A bowl containing a red liquid with a metal spoon. So again, same thing. A brown and white rope. A black book. A brown and white rope. 2 handcuffs, and 3 carabiners. I don't know what a carabiner is. What is a carabiner? Oh, the climbing clips. Okay. These are actually really useful for, here, I'll just show you guys what it looks like. It's like those like metal clip things that people use for climbing, or I like to use it for, when I have for my dog's leash and stuff like that, and clip other things on there. Okay, so that's what a carabiner clip is. Hi, Patty. How are you doing today? How's it going? Safe rooms, especially bunkers. Ruby and Jody appear to be millionaires. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of wish that they define what the safe room was. But maybe, if they wrote safe room while they're asking the judge to execute the search warrant, maybe it makes it sound more, I don't know, more like, because like, what if it's just a room, right? And they're like, okay, we're going to call it a safe room. That way the judge thinks it's like very urgent and we just can't get in. I don't know. The way when they say safe room, I think like panic rooms or something. Keys for carabiners. Yeah, that's a good one too. I have everything like electronic now, well, except for one of my, no, actually just kidding. Everything used to be electronic when I used to live in an apartment. All right, so back to the search warrant. I, Sergeant Nicholas Tobler of Santa Clara Ivans Police Department, by whom this warrant was executed, do swear the above listed or below attached inventory contains a true and detailed account of all property taken by me and under the warrant of the 30th day of August 2023. Now we have our next one. The Anderson Affiant, Sergeant Nicholas Tobler of Santa Clara's Ivan Police Department, upon an oath or written affidavit subscribed under criminal penalty, declares that your affiant has reason to believe that on the premises known as redacted, again, Jody Hildebrandt, Ruby Frankie, on the items described as again, this is going to be a description of the Jody Hildebrandt house. In the city of Ivans, county of Washington, state of Utah, there is now a certain property or evidence described as any and all cell phones, audio recordings, computers, tablets, laptops, surveillance footage. Again, if there is surveillance footage, that's going to be really interesting for, there's a trial for the jury to watch. Doorbell cameras. So yeah, doorbell cameras, and any other communication device used to send text message or email or any other audio visual communications. And that said property or evidence was unlawfully acquired or is unlawfully possessed, has been used or is possessed for the purpose of using to commit or conceal the commission of another offense, or is evidence of illegal conduct. Again, this is going to be the same thing as earlier. We read this part as well, how the officers responded. There was duct tape, open wounds, how they would put cayenne pepper and honey on those wounds. Now they're talking about Jody Hildebrandt, how they found, this is the same thing. Let's see, search warrant. A search warrant was served on the home, during which officers found that the victim's mother, Ruby Frankie, had left 3 children. Oh, I thought it was 4. 3 children. Why did I think it was 4 children? Had left 3 children in the care of Jody Hildebrandt. Officers also found that Jody Hildebrandt, I could have sworn it was maybe like the 12-year-old, there's like a 10-year-old, and then 2 other teenage daughters as well. So I guess just 3. Officers also found that Jody Hildebrandt has posted several posts on social media and YouTube channels. Did you guys, by any chance, have you guys seen any of the connections, like podcasts or videos or anything? I was gonna check it out, maybe. The document is blurred. Here, you gonna zoom it? Yeah, I had to take a screenshot because I got this from the 8 Passengers Reddit, and when you try to save the photo directly, it saves as like a web page or whatever it's called, and I had to take a screenshot, so it's like not like crystal clear, but you can still read it. Panic Room was a memorable film. It just exists in a safe room, and the circumstances extra damning. I don't know. I think like the safe room thing, we should just take it with I would wait until more details come out, because I don't know what their definition of safe room is. But, it kind of sounds like, if we want to think worst case scenario, it sounds like potentially a room that they could have kept the kids in to lock them in, right, while the kids were being tied down. But we don't know that. So, safe room could have just been a term that the officer used, and then we're taking it and we're making it more than it really is. But we'll see. Hi, Maha. How are you doing today? How's it going? But yeah, we'll just keep it in the back of our minds for now. We'll remember this safe room term. Oh yeah, so have you guys seen any of the videos? See, I don't know. I might check out. I don't know if the content's still up, but I'm kind of curious. Obviously, none of the extreme stuff are probably going to be on there. It's probably just going to be like the easy, lighthearted stuff, easy for people to digest, right? To get them like hooked in. And then I did hear that Adam did an interview, which is one of Jody Hildebrandt's victims. Adam did an interview where he says there are like, I think 3 stages. Where like it's like the first stage where you have her and like she's like super like she's like a gregarious person, very likable, very funny. And then there's like step 2 and then like step 3, and like as it goes into like from step 1, step 2, step 3, it gets more and more extreme. But I don't know. I might have to check it out because I just want to see. I'm very curious. They're wondering if someone is in there, so it must be kind of big. How many people have a room like that? They used the term panic room, I think. Yeah, I think initially in the 911 call, I think they mentioned like panic room, but then now on this search warrant, they said safe room, but I don't know. It might not just be, we'll see what it is. I have to, you think YouTube remove all videos? I know YouTube, wait for connections or for 8 Passengers? Haven't seen any of those videos. Yes, panic room is definitely for people to hide in. Yeah, I don't know. I'll just like wait and see. Because I feel like we just need descriptions. I don't know. Or maybe there'll be a body cam footage that'll be released sometime in the future or something like that. We'll see. Let's see. So officers also found that Jodi Hildebrandt has posted several on social media and on YouTube channels where she discusses mental health and family therapy. I'm requesting a search warrant to obtain any electrical device and or communication device from Jodi Hildebrandt's person and residents to obtain any possible communications between Jodi Hildebrandt and Ruby Franke. Also to obtain any possible videos or audio recordings that would have caught any abuse or injury sustained from that abuse. It's the same thing. So now, any and all cell phones, audio recordings, computers, tablets, laptops, surveillance footage, doorbell cameras, and or any communication devices. Okay, so I think this is where the judge is basically approving it. Yep, judge is approving it. So here's what they recovered. The personal property listed below or set out in the inventory attached here to was taken from the person of Jodi Hildebrandt. Ruby Franke, by virtue of a search warrant dated 30th August 2023 and issued by Magistrate Carlin S. Myers of the 5th District Court, St. George Department. So here's what we got. An Apple MacBook Pro, an Apple iPhone, an Apple MacBook, an Apple MacBook, an Apple MacBook. Why are there so many MacBooks? An Apple iPhone, peach colored, an Apple iPhone, an Apple MacBook Pro. I, Surgeon Nicholas Tober of Santa Clara's, by whom this warrant was executed, do swear the above listed and below attached inventory contains true and detailed account of all the property taken by me under the warrant on the 30th day of August 2023. So this is all we got so far. So we got a bunch of Apple products, a bunch of electronic devices. And then for the first one, we had some rope. We had bowl with like a weird liquid red substance in it, which I think is possibly the cayenne and the honey thing. Now, remember in the arrest affidavit, do you guys remember how it was mentioned that Jodi Hildebrandt did have some, it was like some of the, what's it called? Like gauze or something. There was like some gauze laying around on like the sink. So that's why they think that like, she knew that these kids were, possibly had some injuries and maybe she was the one who was dressing them. But yeah, crazy. I've been following Mormon stories on this one. In psychology in Seattle now, shifting from a Duger deep dive. Extra disturbing that she was a therapist. And the crazy thing is, I think at some point, I think Ruby Franke shifted and she was trying to be like a life coach as well, right? I don't know if Ruby Franke went through the hoops and hurdles to actually get like a therapy license, but I mean, maybe easier to just be a life coach, right? I think life coach, I don't know, are there life coach credentials? Life coach certification, how to become a life coach. So maybe you could just get like a certification. Yeah, so therapist needs a bachelor degree, typically master's degrees in order to practice. When a life coach technically doesn't need, sorry, this is a Forbes Health article. Because I know there are some articles that called both Jodi and Ruby Franke therapists, but I don't know if Ruby Franke was actually a therapist. Maybe she was more of like a life coach or something like that. Cayenne pepper, yeah. Yeah, so the Mormon stories one, I think I'm about like, because I listened to Jodi Hildebrandt's story on the interview that she did, but I just started on her story on Mormon stories. I still have to finish it. I heard she had her license suspended, so life, no, so like, I think you're talking about Jodi Hildebrandt, right? You said, I heard that she had a license suspended, so life coach is a logical step. From what I've heard, it was suspended temporarily, just temporarily suspended. Are you referring to when she took one of her clients' information and then like went back to like the school that he was at and like told them all the information? They had to reinstate her license. Jodi volunteered. Sorry, we're talking about two different timelines right now. So there was a time in Jodi Hildebrandt's career where she did have her license, I believe, temporarily suspended. And then at this point right now, from what I've heard so far from the news and the media, she volunteered. Yeah, she volunteered to, I guess, either to have her license suspended again or give it up or something. But yeah, these are two different time frames. Hello. We're talking about Jodi Hildebrandt. Jodi Hildebrandt and YouTube mom influencer Ruby Frankie of 8 Passengers. They're being accused of child abuse right now of Ruby Frankie's children. So we're talking about the search warrant and the stuff that they uncovered and some information on there. She ran her mouth about the clients. Oh, I didn't know she got back. I didn't know she got it back. Yeah, because from what I heard, it was temporarily suspended back in the day. And that was back in, I think, early 2010s. Hi from Australia. Hello. Hi, Anne. How are you doing today? Hi, Mama Jama. How's it going? But that's what we got so far. They did have a child custody hearing that happened. Of course, none of that is like public. But yeah, other than that, I think the next, let's see, when is the next, I'm not quite sure when the next hearing is going to happen for Jodi Hildebrandt and Ruby Frankie, but we'll see. Me too. It's the woman who tied her kids and starved them. She's a mommy vlogger, or was. Major culty vibes. It's obvious she was abusing them even before being tied up. I didn't watch any of the 8 Passengers content. I actually didn't even know about them. The only time I heard about her was when she was being lambasted for not bringing one of her like 5th grade child like her school lunch or something. I just remember I was like, well, this is like fucking crazy. But that was like a couple months back that I think I heard about it. But oh my goodness. That was the quickest response. Oh. Well, I think like a lot of I feel like a lot of YouTubers who cover a lot of the true crime stuff, they're way bigger than I am, and their chat's usually going really, really fast. So I don't think they're like purposely trying to ignore you or anything like that. It's just that, you know, their chat goes by really fast and it's hard to kind of go back and forth. Hearing will be out in October. They will likely get out on bail. I heard that I believe for Ruby Frankie, I think maybe she might be out on bail. Of course, with a lot of conditions. And Jodi Hildebrandt, however, I think they're maintaining that she's a threat to other people and that she might even, you know, perhaps try to flee. So I don't know if Jodi Hildebrandt is gonna get out on. Yeah, I don't know. Ruby Frankie, maybe, but Jodi, I don't think so. We'll see. Even though the bail hearing was postponed, even though their bail hearing was postponed, a few things came out of it. I just did a quick catch up the other day. Yeah, there's gonna be so many crazy clips. I knew I was gonna be sick, so I avoided for as long as I could. I don't know. The reason why I want to cover this is because I think it's really important to, like, I know that she's not doing the family YouTube vlogs anymore, but I feel like this all stemmed from that. Hopefully from this, maybe there'll be like a major change in how, you know, the family YouTubers do their family vlogs. I don't know. Apparently, I think that her sister did one of her sisters did a video addressing this, and people in the comments were saying that because I didn't realize, but their entire family, they all do like family YouTube vlogs. They all have like large families. They all vlog. I think Ruby Frankie has like 3 other sisters. I think 2 I know for sure, but maybe 3 other sisters that do the same thing. And in the comments, I mean, I could just verify, but I forgot her name. In the comments, people did mention that one of the sisters who made a video about this, she changed her YouTube name from like blah, blah, blah family YouTube vlogs to like just her name. And then like she changed like her about me or something. Let me see. I can just look it up really quick. Sorry. I want to make sure I get this information right. I was just reading the comments. What was her sister's name? Was it Daru? Daru, maybe? Hi from Alaska. Hello. Is it Daru Vlogs? Is this it? Not quite sure. Maybe this is it. Julie Daru. Maybe this is it. Yeah, they're in the comments. They were mentioning that she changed her name. Before it was like maybe Daru Family Crew Vlogs or something like that, and now it's just like her name. So I don't know. Maybe she'll change, you know, her content, or maybe this is just like short lived. But I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to vlog and then having like, you know, because obviously your children are a huge part of your life, right? I think that's okay. But like, it just depends on how you do it. Like, I don't know, when you're like forcing your kids to be in like all the thumbnails and they're like super young, and you're shoving the camera in their face when they're crying, or when they're like having, I don't know, like having your first period or something like that, right? Like, I don't, just like stuff like that. It's just like, yikes. I don't know. I hope people will take this and kind of reevaluate what kind of content they want to put out there when it comes to their kids being on there, you know? Yeah. But I mean, like I said, like I think it's okay to have like your kids in your vlogs. Just don't shove the camera in their face all the time and all that stuff, right? But oof. The ethics behind family vlogs, so tricky. I think it's just because I'm sure there's some really good family vlogs out there. But the ones that I hear about are always the ones where it's like, I don't know, like you hear about like the Ace family, and then you hear about the 8 passengers, and then you hear about some like the child YouTube stars who like are growing up now, and they're talking about how horrible it was for them when they were a kid, and how I think one of the kids that is grown up now, she talked about how she had like all her like personal information like aired out there, like again, like first period and stuff like that. And then I think when she was like really young, maybe like early teens, a grown man like contacted her, was like, oh my God, like, you know, like saying some really weird, creepy shit. And she was just kind of like scarred from that. But yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Cause I was watching a home tour recently. I was like, oh, this is a cool, it was like a home tour renovation. And then I realized it was like a family vlog channel. I was like, oh God, nope, I'm getting out of here. I don't know. Let me get out of here. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Oh, Jeanette McCurdy. Oh man, her story is very interesting. Yeah, I feel really sad for her. It's no good parents depending on their kids. Yeah, financially. Yeah, like I don't know, man. If you're trying to make money and having more kids, or like having your kids on the thumbnail is what fuels it. I don't know. I feel like even though you try to be really good parents, but I don't know, at some point, like, I don't know, that's just a tough one. You're gonna be pushing a lot of boundaries. But oof. Anyways, so that's it for the Jody Hildebrandt search warrant. Again, from the search warrant, it was revealed that the 12-year-old child that was found in duct tape revealed that whoever they was, would put cayenne pepper and honey on their wounds. And I saw that was mentioned like saran wrap. So maybe like they would do that, maybe wrap it in saran wrap, maybe wrap it in bandages or duct tape or something. I don't know. But I thought it was really interesting that the search warrant was also mentioning saran wrap as well. So yeah, that's crazy. But I feel like there's going to be a lot going on with this case. So we'll just sit back, you know, kind of just wait and listen. The defense is moving towards pointing the finger at Jody. The dad started already. Yeah, I saw the dad. I don't know. The dad, I'm like not really quite sure yet. I'm just kind of waiting. Some of like, I don't know. I feel like right now, maybe because I'm not in their situation, but I feel like having all these family members come out right now to just defend themselves and say like, oh, I didn't know anything about this, or, you know, I had nothing to do with this. I don't know. I feel like I get it. You don't want the public to come after you, or like your content creators, and you want to continue making content. It'd be kind of weird to not like mention the stuff that's going on right now. But I don't know. It's just kind of like, I don't know, weird, I guess. But I don't know. I just have like mixed feelings about it. But with the dad too, the dad, like, you know, like his lawyer has come out saying that like, you know, the dad's a good guy. He didn't know anything about this. And then I think it was until Jodi Hildebrandt's niece came out and talked about her story with her aunt. I feel like now they're like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know. Now, like, we can just have some corroborating stories with I don't know. I don't know. Because I was thinking maybe the dad didn't want to say anything at first, but then when he heard that there was other victims, maybe now he wants to speak on it. Or it could just be a really good way to kind of just like, oh, wait, there's already a victim out there. Let me just kind of like, you know, use their story as well. And then to say that like, I didn't know anything about this, and I'm also part of like, you know, I'm also a victim. But I don't know. We don't know. I'm just kind of just waiting for everything to just kind of unfold. We'll see. There's no way the dad didn't know anything about it. Well, if you believe Adam's story, it could show that like, oh, you know, Jodi Hildebrandt is a master manipulator and is really good at separating families and isolating her victims, right? But at the same time, we don't know if those same tactics were employed in the Ruby Frankie's family, right? but I don't know. I'm just waiting to see. We'll see how it is. I think more importantly, it's going to be important to see the testimonies and then to see any corroborating evidence to their testimony. Yeah, because right now the dad could just be like, "Oh, I didn't know anything, and I'm just like all the other Jodi Hildebrandt victims. You know, Jody's the one who's doing all this behind the scenes, and she's controlling Ruby Frankie, and I'm just another victim." But we need to see if there's like corroborating evidence for that story, right? Maybe during the trial, maybe there'll be some text messages, emails where maybe Ruby Frankie and Jodi Hildebrandt were, essentially just in cahoots with, trying to get this, the husband out of the picture, and maybe it worked. Or maybe the husband just like didn't really care, or he was just kind of like, okay, well, I don't want to deal with this headache. You just deal with it. I don't know. I feel like there's so much, there's like so much like going on in the background that waiting for more information to come out throughout, maybe through the trials or something. As far as the lesbian stuff, I'm not quite sure. We'll have to see if there's any more stuff that comes out. It's all just speculation at this point. It's so sad that the children are allowed to be with the other children. Yeah, there's one child, I think, that I forgot who reported it. I think the judge granted having one of the children to be isolated from their siblings, but was that from I don't know if it was from a reliable source, but I remember hearing about that. Kouri has a few vlogs. Does that mean she's crazy too? Look at the videos where the dad participated in being cruel to the children. He has used grins and smiles. What's happening? He's no victim. Oh, yeah, for sure. The dad was definitely part of all the other stuff that was going on while they had the family YouTube channel. But to the point where it's at right now, these are some extremes. Extremes. Not that it wasn't extreme before, like taking electronics away from your children for like a whole year, making them sleep on a beanbag, taking away their room, their bed, whatever. Like those are extreme too. But this is to the point where it's like, putting cayenne pepper, tying them down and honey. And like, yeah, that's just, even more extreme of the extreme. Hi, Palermo. How are you doing today? Okay, so let's go on to our next topic with Kouri Richins. And Kouri Richins, I got to remind you guys some of the details about this woman because it is pretty crazy. She's had some crazy Google searches about her own situation. Again, she's been accused of poisoning her husband's Moscow meal with fentanyl. She wrote a book about it. Well, not a book about it, but she wrote a book for children about grief because she wanted something for her sons to read. She has three very young sons. I believe the ages are, they're all like the under 10 years old, I believe. Yeah, pretty young. She wrote a book about it. She went on like I think it was called like ABC4 Good Things Utah, where she was like giving this interview about being a widow and how it was all of a sudden came out of nowhere. And she wanted to write this book for her kids, but she was arrested earlier this year because they had suspected her of poisoning her husband. It's wild. Sending their oldest son to a wilderness camp. Yeah, when I heard about that, I thought of Paris Hilton. You guys are there was a thing that Paris Hilton did where she talked about how she was young, she was acting out, she was like, I don't know, she was like acting out and being bad or something like that. And then her parents like sent her to like this like camp that was years later known to be really abusive towards the kids. So when I heard about wilderness camp, I don't know if it's the same thing, but like that's what it reminded me of. What about the oldest daughter? Will she testify? I wonder. Yeah, possibly. I just feel so bad for Sherry right now because she's really young. She's at the point where, she's like beginning her life of independency and she's starting college. This is the beginning of the semester right now. She's probably got some exams coming up and there's just a lot going on with, her family and not just like the public focus on her family, but it's also like the whereabouts of her siblings, how they're doing. And like, I don't know, it must be really, 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 really stressful. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, hi. Honey has some antiseptic properties to help heal wounds. Yeah, I'm wondering why the honey and the cayenne pepper combination. Is it like cayenne pepper so it stings, but then afterwards they would put some honey in there so it'd be like, oh, but it's okay, honey makes it feel better. Like, I don't know. I'm just like very curious. Why was it a combination of like cayenne pepper and honey? Or is it like an old school way of treating wounds? You finished Pokemon DLC or have you been sidetracked? Shiny hunting? Oh god, the Pokemon game sucks. Cayenne pepper doesn't for inflammation. I know, like if you, I don't know, you Googled it. I think if you ingest it, that might be for inflammation. There were some articles that quoted some other like medical journal thing where it was like, oh, cayenne pepper does have like some medical uses. However, you're not supposed to put it directly like on an open wound or leave it there. And you should be using it on children. But yeah, I forgot who quoted it. It might have been like Court TV or Law and Crime or something. So maybe cayenne pepper is used for punishment, and then maybe honey is used as a way of like, okay, but like, see, it's not that bad. Like, I'm giving you honey right here. It's gonna make it feel better. I don't know. There's some really weird shit that sometimes adults do to kids to like really fuck with their minds. It's not supposed to be used on cracks. Yeah, I remember reading that, cracked skin or open wounds. Yeah. I didn't hear anything about that. Heard the wounds are so deep you can see the bones. I didn't hear about that, but I mean they were emaciated. Oh, true. Or the honey helps the cayenne stick. That's true. Yeah, that could be a thing too. Or they could have just made it a paste with water. But yeah, I don't know. Well, we'll find out more details from other kids because I'm sure there'll be other kids and maybe even other families because maybe Jodi Hildebrandt, maybe she used the same tactics towards other children, other family members. That's not just unique to the Ruby Frankie children, right? So we'll see. Sometimes because of what they have suffered. Sorry, is that a... Sounds like a horrible idea. Yeah. It just sounds like an extreme way to punish your kids even more. Yikes. Most of these family YouTubers are cringe. Definitely abusive. You have to be a sick individual to want to exploit your own children 24/7 for internet fame. I think like initially how it starts is probably like these people were probably already influencers, maybe they're like influencers, and at some point they're vlogging and all that stuff. They're showing people every day every aspect of their lives, and then maybe they have children, right? Because that's usually the normal course for couples. Sometimes they'll have children, and maybe initially it just starts off as like like we're having children, but then they realize it's like, oh, having children in my vlog or giving birth to multiple kids, maybe like it boosts the views, like like I know like there's a lot of times where you'll have like a YouTuber when they get pregnant and they do the whole like pregnancy thing and then giving birth thing, they see like an uptick in their channel. And so maybe just seeing that uptick, getting that burst of like views and the all the positivity, maybe at some point you just don't know where the line is between I don't know, between just trying to show the world how your family is versus like exploiting your kids. But yeah, it's wild. Okay, so Kouri Richins. Let's talk about Kouri Richins. And then if you guys have any other comments about Jodi Hildebrandt, we'll definitely talk about them as well. Now, Kouri Richins. I want to talk about the letter that was found in her jail cell. There's this letter that was found. Now, it was apparently in an envelope that was addressed to her lawyer. So this letter is definitely going to be a controversy because, maybe there's like attorney-client privileges, but I don't know. I think the prison initially thought it was like contraband or something because like they probably thought it was kind of sketchy that this letter was hidden in this letter thing, and it was like hidden, I don't know, maybe like somewhere in her book or something. I think that was said. But oh yeah, I want to talk about the letter. So she writes this letter, and it's in a letter that's addressed to her lawyer, but the letter actually seems to be addressed to her mom. And some background, not Sarah Boone 2.0. No. So Sarah Boone letters were these insane, batshit crazy letters addressed to the judge, okay? Addressed to her lawyer. Now, this letter, I do take that back. It is still kind of batshit crazy insane, in my opinion. However, it's addressed to her mom. So just a little bit of a background history on Kouri Richins, because I never want to forget some of these details, because there are some crazy details in this. Kouri Richins. So going back to her arrest. Let's see. Is this considered? I can't see the actual title. Yeah, so this is the considers arrest warrant, arrest affidavit. I'm trying to find the part where I wanted to read this part too. Okay, so this is like a arrest warrant for her, I guess, or arrest affidavit. On March 4th, 2022, at 3:22 hours, Summit County Sheriff's deputies and EMS staff responded to a residence located at 32282 Willow Court in Summit County on the report of an unresponsive male. When they arrived, they found Kouri Richins on the floor at the foot of his bed. Life-saving measures were attempted. Oh, sorry, is it cut off? Sorry about that. Life-saving measures were attempted, but Kouri was declared deceased. During interviews with the deceased wife, the defendant, Kouri Richins, she stated that around 2100 hours, so 9 a.m., that she and Kouri were celebrating the defendant's closing on a house for her business. Defendant stated that she made Kouri a Moscow meal in the kitchen and brought it to the bedroom where Kouri consumed it while sitting in bed. The only people in the house were defendant, Kouri, and their children. Defendant stated that she went to bed and shortly after went to sleep with one of the children in the children's bedroom because the child was having a night terror. Defendant said that she woke around 3 a.m. and came back to her in Kouri's bedroom. She felt Kouri and he was cold to the touch. That is when the defendant called 911. Defendant told law enforcement that when she left her room to go to her child's room, she left her phone plugged in next to her bed and did not take it to the child's room. However, between when the defendant said she was in the child's room and when she called 911, the status on her phone shows that it was locked and unlocked multiple times and that there was movements recorded on the phone. I wonder if she's going to later on say, maybe she'll testify and she'll just be like, oh, well, it wasn't me who was using my phone. It must have been Kouri. He must have locked and unlocked my phone and he must have been moving around or something. In addition, tolls on defendant's phone show that messages were sent and received during the time. Those messages were deleted. I wonder if they ever recovered those deleted messages by any chance. Following an autopsy pursuant to the toxicology findings from the autopsy, it was determined that Kouri died from overdose of fentanyl. The medical examiner indicated the level of fentanyl in Kouri's system was approximately 5 times the lethal dosage. I think her defense was going to be that, oh, Kouri took fentanyl and like he must have taken fentanyl and then accidentally overdosed. Again, this is 5 times the lethal dose. The medical examiner stated that fentanyl in Kouri's system was illicit fentanyl and not medical grade fentanyl. It is also the opinion of the medical examiner after evaluating Kouri's gastric fluids contents that the fentanyl in Kouri's body was ingested orally. Now, they have some information that they found where they found the person that was dealing the fentanyl. And apparently, this person was dealing fentanyl to Kouri Richins, and they have record of Kouri Richins talking to this person. That's going to be very interesting to see in a trial because, you know, you're going to have someone that's going to testify and being like, oh, hey, you know, she bought fentanyl from me. I'm a dealer. I met up with her, you know, once or twice, and she bought the fentanyl from me. And so it's going to be, I don't know what her defense is going to be exactly, but I'm assuming it's going to be like, oh, Kouri was the one who took fentanyl and he must have actually overdosed. But here's a new angle that she was trying to go for. And we're going to read about it in the letter that she sends her mom. Now, I think in her new angle, again, she's going to say that, oh, Kouri was trying to, you know, Kouri was known to take drugs to get high and that he would go to Mexico to get fentanyl. However, I didn't know anything about this because he didn't tell me because I wouldn't approve. So he told other people, and that's how he got fentanyl and blah, 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 blah. However, again, we have this evidence where she was communicating with this drug dealer to get fentanyl. Now, this, as interesting as the letter is going to be, I think her response to it is even more interesting. It's just baffling. All right, this is the letter right here. It's called Walk the Dog, page 1. Anyone know why she would call it Walk the Dog? Box water, LOL. Didn't she also have some? Oh, yes, the Google searches. Yes. Okay, I did want to mention that. Thank you so much for reminding me. She did have some batshit crazy Google searches, Madison. So some of the searches that she had on her second iPhone. So she had a second iPhone that she had in her dresser drawer, and they were able to find it. So text messages like luxury prison for the rich in America. Women Utah prison. Can cops force you to do a lie detector test? Death certificate says pending. Will life insurance still pay? So apparently there's a lot going on with the story, but just to keep it really short and succinct, she took out a life insurance. Yeah, she applied for a 100K life term insurance through a credit union. The state accused her of forging her husband's signature on the application, and so it was issued on February 4th, 2022. This is just maybe about a month before his death. Okay. Also, before his death, she made herself the beneficiary of her husband's life insurance. And I think the life insurance policy was a joint one with his business partner. And so the insurance company reached out to the company and was like, hey, there's been some changes. And they're like, what changes? And they think they were able to change it back. I don't know. This woman has made a lot of moves for the life insurance policy or making herself beneficiary to certain things and like the will and all that stuff that I think it's the same one, but it might be a different incident. But a lot of stuff like that where it just indicates that she's just trying to get his money, I guess. Potentially. I don't know. But yeah, apparently like she tried to change herself as the beneficiary of the life insurance policy, and then they found out and they were able to change it back. And then I think at some point the husband started getting really suspicious. And so he changed his will where the sister was now the executor of the will, not the wife anymore. Because there were some things that he probably, I don't know. I think the state said that he thought that she was going to try to do something to him. But I'm trying to remember where I read that. Was it a court doc or something? But let's talk about the walk the dog. Oh, sorry. Did I finish reading the rest of the... Sorry, I'm like all over the place. Sorry, let's go back. So other Google searches that she had. FBI analysis of electronics in an investigation. When does the FBI get involved in a case? How long does life insurance companies take to pay? How to permanently delete information from an iPhone remotely. So again, I'm assuming you're searching that because at this point they had possession of her original iPhone, her first iPhone, and she probably wanted to remotely delete information on that. And then she also writes, what is the lethal dose of fentanyl? Man, I don't have dates for these, but I'm assuming a lot of them were after the death of her husband. Crazy. All right, sorry. So back to this letter now. It amazes me that people can be so stupid to plan out their entire crime on Google. Yes. I think some really good examples of this would be Letitia Stalk. And there was a man that was it an art dealer? He was like an art dealer who murdered who was accused of murdering his wife. I don't think he's been convicted yet. And he had some crazy searches. Oh, what was the name of that again? I think his wife's name was it Anna? It was essentially super specific Google searches. Was like, I killed my 5'1" wife. How do I get rid of her body or something like that? No, not Shabiz. No, Mark Jennison. No, that doesn't ring the bell. Oh man, that was like a wild, crazy one. We talked about it a couple months back. Man, Google searches after killing wife. Oh, Brian Walsh. And his wife's name was Anna. Oh, bad. Yeah, Anna Walsh. Oh, my goodness. This one was crazy. Is he still pending trial? Okay. These are his search results. Oh, my gosh. Sorry, I'm just going to pivot really quick. How long before a body starts to smell? How to stop a body from decomposing? 10 ways to dispose of a dead body if you really need to. How long for someone to be missing to inherit? Can you throw away body parts? What does formaldehyde do? How long does DNA last? Can identification be made on partial remains? Dismemberment and best ways to dispose of a body. How to clean blood from wooden floor. Luminol to detect blood. What happens when you put body parts in ammonia? Is it better to put crime scene clothes away or wash them? More searches. Hacksaw best tool to dismember. Can you be charged with murder without a body? Can you identify a body with broken teeth? What happens to hair on a dead body? What is the rate of decomposition of a body found in a plastic bag compared to the surface in the woods? Can baking soda mask or make a body smell good? Those are some of the search results, okay? Oh my goodness, just so specific. Anyways, and you know what? I feel like a lot of these search results are always like very similar. It's like how to get rid of the body and then when can I get my money? So we're seeing some similarities here. Oh, Jody. Oh, what was Jody's results? I don't remember Jody's. You might have to refresh my memory. How do you defend this? Oh, my client is very interested in true crime. They were just curious. Oh, yeah, and their wife just happens to be missing. Dude, crazy. How about just don't Google search? Yeah, Letitia Stock was really bad too. All right, so to the letter. Page 1, walk the dog, but take vague notes so you remember. Oh man, this is going to be hilarious. Sky is saying, by the way, Sky is her lawyer, her attorney. Sky is saying, even if, underline, the gummies have fentanyl in them, the prosecutor will say, I try to put the fentanyl in the gummies so Eric would have them. Stupid, I know. But that's what she's thinking. We will still test them though. However, she wants to link Eric getting drugs and what the hell does that say? Fin-fans? And fin-fans? Fin-frans. Getting drugs and Finn's friend. Does anyone know what this says? From Mexico. So we need some kind of connection. Her private investigator is doing some research on the ranch/cartel place Eric would stay at. Here's what I'm thinking, but you have to talk to Ronnie. Ronnie is her brother, by the way. This is a letter to her mom. He would probably have to testify to this, but it's super short. Not a lot to it. Can you imagine? Okay, so get my brother to testify to this major thing that's going to be life-changing for me, okay? And it's going to put the victim into shambles, but it's super short. It's not a big deal. It's okay. Now, when you're testifying on it, I guess she's never watched real life court or anything like that. But when you testify, they destroy you in cross-examination. And it's not just something super easy. Like you just go into, just write a little testimony thing write a little, what's it called again? Like affidavit thing, right? When you're writing something, you're like, okay, yeah, I agree to everything here, everything above said. No, you're going to have to testify to this. It's not going to be super short and there's a lot to it. Oh, pills from Mexico. Is that what it says? Pills from Mexico. Okay. Thank you. She wants to like Eric getting drugs and pills from Mexico. All right. So here's what I'm thinking, but you have to talk to Ronnie. He would probably have to testify to this, but it's super short. Not a lot to it. He will need to tell Sky at the meeting next week. Upon information and belief, just like they say. So again, upon information and belief, I had this Google just in case. In the law of evidence, the phrase information and belief identifies a statement that is made not from firsthand knowledge, but based on secondhand information that the declarant believes is true. The phrase is often used in legal pleadings, declarations under penalty of perjury, and affidavits under oath. It is often used in a similar phrase to the plaintiff is informed and believes, and upon such information believes alleges. This protects the maker of the statement from claims of outright false or perjury. Oh man, she's doing her research. Upon information belief, just like they say. A year prior to Eric's death, Ronnie was over watching football one Sunday, and Eric and Ronnie were chatting about Eric's Mexico trips. Man, I kind of miss the Sarah Boone handwriting. This handwriting's horrible. Okay. Eric and Ronnie were chatting about Eric's Mexico trips. Eric told Ronnie he gets pain pills and fentanyl from Mexico from the workers at the ranch. Not to tell me because I would get mad because I always said he just gets high every night and won't help take care of the kids. So this is again an accused person trying to destroy the credibility and try to make the person that's murdered, allegedly murdered, look bad. So he's the type of husband who just gets high every night, doesn't even help take care of the kids. And they have 3 very young boys. Again, I don't know how she's going to explain away the fact that she was communicating with the drug dealer. But anyways, there are pictures in my phone of Eric passed out on the floor or chair. Oh no. Do we have the Depp v. Heard situation again where we have a wife who's just getting ready to go to court against the husband? So she's taking a bunch of pictures of him to show that, oh my God, look how bad my husband is. He just passed on the floor in the chair. There are pictures on my phone of Eric passed on the floor or in the chair. Ronnie should have text from Eric talking about getting high as well. Eric told Ronnie He keeps them in an allergy pill bottle in his work truck so I wouldn't find them. Ronnie never told me about the conversation. Eric finally told me, and he asked me if Carmen could get some. Oh, okay. So this is how she's going to connect it to why she was talking to the drug dealer about getting fentanyl. Okay. Eric never wanted anyone to get to know he had an issue, especially get caught. He always wanted Kouri to go down for him. Oh my gosh, dude. She's just literally telling this potential witness what to say. The things that people do. When they traveled, Eric would put his drugs in Kouri's bag at their airlines right before they boarded. Oh, poor Kouri. What a victim. That way, if they were caught, Kouri got in trouble, not him. Once they got to whenever they were going, Eric would pull the drugs out of her bag and it would cause a huge fight. She was pissed. He would risk her going to jail for his drug use. He just would laugh about it. Eric couldn't run his image that he had drug issues, so he would do whatever he had to. Kouri has never done any type of pills, didn't like them. Rarely would she consume THC, only if Eric begged her because it was a special occasion. Oh, because I think people were saying that like she also like does some drug use as well. So maybe that's her explanation for this. Oh my God. Amber turned the stand? Yeah, okay, Amber. Lol. Were Jodi and Kouri Richins in the same book club? Oh man. Okay. Asterisk right here. Reword this however he needs to make the point. Just include it all. The connection has to be made with Mexico and drugs. Ronnie will have the messages to prove Eric confided in him about getting high. Again, he might have just been getting like recreationally high, maybe just like taking like, I don't know, like marijuana gummies or something like that. But now she's trying to use that against him and potentially say that like, hey, when he said getting high, it's really getting high with fentanyl. It can be short and to the point, but has to be done. Upon information and belief. LOL. Is this her just laughing at the justice system? I think she really thought that she was going to outsmart everyone. Upon information and belief. LOL. They never found pain pills or fentanyl in my house because he hid it in an allergy bottle in a work truck. Fine. Cody emptied out the work truck within a week, so they were never found. When you talk to Ronnie, again, this is her brother. When you talk to Ronnie about this, meet up with him in person. I worry sometimes your house and phone are bugged. Oh man, but you're the idiot that's writing this letter. Maybe drive down to SC, and meet him after work without Bree. Oh, maybe that's his like wife or something. I don't know. Sky, again, the lawyer, has to make the connection between Eric and Mexico because that makes the most sense in her mind. If it's Ronnie's information and belief, oh my gosh, dude, when the lawyer found out about this, I wonder if she was just like molding. Oh man, she must have lost a lot of hair this week. Okay, Sky has to make the connection between Eric and Mexico. Oh, SL, Salt Lake? Oh, that's right, because Utah. Okay. Maybe SL. All right, thank you. Because it makes the most sense in her mind. If it's Ronnie's information and belief about the conversation over football, she can use that as a connection. Tell Ronnie, don't overanalyze it. It was a quick 2-minute conversation. LOL. Why are these LOL? Oh my God. She over here thinking she's like a fucking villain. She's like, she probably thinks she's Cersei, man. I'm sorry. You're not a Cersei. You're like, Cersei's like a tier S villain. This one is like, I don't know. I give her like a D or something. Tell him I need him to do this. Bring me home and then we will get those damn bitches. So I think when she says get those damn bitches, I don't think she means like us, the judge, the jury, or potential jury. I think it's her feud with her husband's family, his sisters, because they're fighting right now over, I don't know, possibly maybe the kids, fighting over the money, the sale of the house. She wants her half. She was, one of the sisters did say, in a sworn testimony that it was, Man, it was the day that the husband passed away. Kouri threw a like house party celebrating buying this new like $3 to $4 million home or something that it was like a $2 million or $3 million home that she was gonna flip or something. She celebrated, she invited the guest over, and I don't think the guest knew that her husband just passed away a couple hours before. But apparently, I think the sister did show up, and was that when the sister claimed that there was a physical altercation between the two of them? I think like she said that like Kouri like hit her or something or pushed her or something like that. I think it was the same day. She hates her sister-in-law. Yeah, and I think at some point she did mention that Kouri was also, maybe in a separate occasion, that Kouri was pissed that the sister was... Oh man, hold on. I need to look at my notes. But yeah, there was just some bad blood between her and the sisters-in-law. Yeesh. Oh, you're at Las Vegas? Oh man, how do you deal with the weather there? How could the family not love her? She's so adorable. You know what, Kouri? Leela? Utah? I've never been to Utah before. Also, please text Lotto or call. Tell him, do not text me anything about us doing things together, ever. Like church, skiing, trips, nothing that puts us together. It doesn't look good. Who's Lotto? I wonder if Lotto is like a known drug person or something like that. I wonder who this Lotto is. We're so close to the end. Let's push through. Have the conversation with Ronnie before he meets with Sky. Then tell him to tell Sky at the meeting about the conversation. Hang in there. We're almost there. Love you to the moon. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh man, I do want to know what her family is like. Like, I wonder if they're good people and they just have this manipulative daughter, possibly trying to get them to say certain things, maybe lie about certain things, or if the family is like possibly on board with this as well. Take vague notes of all of this so you remember before you walk the dog. Is that why it's called walk the dog? Ay. Page 4. I wonder if like the walk the dog is like just like a maybe some sort of like phrase. It's I don't know, before maybe some sort of like literary phrase where it's like the mom is going to take reign of the brother and put him in a leash and control him. I saw a commercial yesterday. Utah Mortgage Relief. Google them, please. It's for people behind on their mortgage. Can you see if they can help at all on the Marissa's house, please? We have to get hers, yours, and Chelsea taken care of ASAP. Try to go to that place in commas. What about asking Lotto to do a loan solely in his name and not have you on there? Who is Lotto? I want to know who this Lotto person is. Is it like a lover of hers or something? Because now she's like, okay, well, tell Lotto that he's got nothing to do with me. But then also get Lotto to do me a huge favor. I know he can do a home equity line of credit on his house in Hideout. Not sure if he would, but I know he has like $1 million in equity. Maybe he just doesn't know about a HELOC, home equity line of credit. If he wants to help me, take care of these loans is the most important. I don't give a shit about the yodels. Lotto is the dog. Me too. And what about the name of Lotto in mainstream Utah? Wait, is Lotto? Oh, it's Lotto like a really... Is Lotto like a common name in Utah? Now the person of interest is Lotto. Utah is beautiful. People are kind, if only superficially. When you move to the new house, you have like 5 neighbors bring you casseroles and cookies. The predominant religion is, well, ... Oh yeah, I told you guys, right, that we had some boys come by the other day, and like I was telling you how they were dressed, and I didn't know who they were initially because I wasn't familiar with the prefixes that we're using, and you guys were like, oh, they're probably Mormon and like all this other stuff. Yeah, they've been hanging with my neighbors across the street. They got my neighbors. My neighbors have been sitting around with them in front of the house, and they're just like chatting and stuff. Yodels rhymes with hotels. Yotel. What is a yotel? Yotel. Let's see. All these phrases I don't know. Yotel. What's the difference between yotel and hotel? Yotelair. Hotels are located in airport terminals. It's a hotel group based in UK. What is it? There's a Yotel in Times Square, a Yotel. So it's like a hotel type of thing. All right, we're learning. We're learning. So she doesn't give a shit about the Yotels. Remember, I told you one way to get at Katie is going through my phone and finding a picture of her girls, even with the boys. Katie. Remember I told you one way to get at Katie. I wonder if Katie's one of the sister-in-law. Go through my phone and finding a picture of her girls, even with the boys. Print 15 copies and send them out anonymously to different media companies. Obviously, don't email the pictures so it's not traceable. She would be livid if it got out to the public. You would just have to do it sneakily and be careful. I don't know, man. The way that she's talking to her mom, it sounds like her mom may have already be on board with some of the shady things that they're doing. She would try and trace it back to you. If not, no worries. Picture of her girls, even with the boys. So, like, blasting pictures of her kids? Is that what she's trying to do here? We at the Yotel Motel Holiday. I don't know what a yokel is. I don't know what that is. It's the name of some hotel business. Gotcha. Okay. All right, page 5. Sky is having my girls do the first interview with Good Morning America. The My Girls? Who's that? I know she doesn't have any daughters. Please tell Chelsea to bring up that he hasn't been to church in like 13 years. She has known him. And Eric would brag to her about how much he drank and did pills in high school. Tell Kelsey to say Eric always wanted Kouri to go down for him. For example, he would put drugs in her suitcase when we would travel together. So if anyone would get caught, it was Kouri. He would put it in her bag right before they left the house so Kouri didn't know. Oh my goodness. I wonder if the jury's going to get a hold of this. Then when we would land, whenever, Eric would take them out of her bag and Kouri would be pissed and they would argue about it. Tell Kelsey to say how Eric didn't care and would just laugh about it and say, well, I can't get in trouble. As if it was okay that I got in trouble. Have Selma talk about Eric in Spain not being able to drink, so he was looking for drugs the entire time, and explain the drink the waitress gave him, and how I called his doctor and went to the pharmacy immediately. Have Allie talk about how the sisters would have always been jealous of me because anything they could do, Kouri could do better. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, this Kouri person. She's a real interesting person. Being a mom. Okay. Everything they could do, Kouri could do better. Being a mom, college, stay-at-home wife, until she has built $1 million company. A nice house, car, everything she had, they wanted. I mean, I've heard some comments about this that it was mostly just her husband's money. But anyways, this comes down to the jealousy, the money, and Eric's partying that they don't want to acknowledge. And sadly, an accidental overdose. I forgot whose lawyer it was. Some lawyer was talking about how Kouri Richins was trying to do a company though, but there was like some hard money loans that she took out, and she was like in a lot of debt or something. Like, anyways. Lastly, don't forget to work on the gun receipts. We want to file charges and let the prosecutor not do anything about it to use in our defense. We will buy a box of Crest white strips, open them up, put them in an envelope, and have Sky give them to me. Wait, what? Will you buy a box of Crest white strips, open them up, put it in an envelope? Oh, okay. She wants to whiten her teeth. You can tell her what's in the envelope. I'm sure she'll work. I'm sure she'll something care. I'll make sure they can't be found in my cell. My teeth are yellow from so much coffee and tea all day. Wow. This is a lot. This is priorities, man. Priorities. I love you. I love you. I love you. Hang in there. We're getting there. Slowly. You're the best mom in the whole world. I'm so lucky to have you. Oh my God. This is just sickening. What does this mean? What guns I'm dying to know? I know there's so many things that I'm wondering as well. I want to know who Lottie is. I want to talk about the gun receipts and oof. Yeah. I mean, that's like at the bottom tier. So you know who says she's literally asking her mother to tell her lord to bring her contraband. But on top of it, possibly getting her brother to maybe lie about a story, having her essentially tell him what to say. This is definitely would be witness tampering. Anyways, this letter was a lot to digest. Do you guys want to know what her response to this was? God, I hope they get a hold of the jailhouse call. Because I think that would be great. The jailhouse call. So Kouri Richins in response. So on September 15th, the state put in a motion for a gag order, so she wouldn't be able to contact her brother, her mom, because looks like she's engaging in witness tampering. However, she had a phone call with her mom, and this is what she said. Okay, I feel like this tops it even more. This is what she says. This is from Court TV. Thank you, Court TV. She says, new court documents obtained Tuesday state that Richins made a phone call to her mother on Saturday in which she claimed the letters were part of a fictional book she's writing about her stay in a Mexican prison. I tried to get a hold of these documents, but I couldn't find them. Yeah, I wanted to get the state's documents, but I couldn't find them. This is what she said. I think to her mom, in quotation mark. When I first got in here, I was telling you how I was writing a book. Those papers were not a letter to you guys. They're a part of my freaking book. I was writing this fictional mystery book, Richins said in a call, according to a court filing. I go to Mexico and I'm like trying to find these drugs. I'm writing about dad. Like me and dad went to Mexico to find these drugs. You can very much tell that the whole thing is very much a story. Oh yeah, we could totally tell, Kouri. I could have totally tell, not you, witness tampering. Then I get in the Mexico prison. I have like Sky sneak me in somehow white strips because my teeth are getting yellow because all we do is drink coffee in the Mexican prison. Oh my God. She's so bad. This is such a horrible... Who does she think is going to believe this? So she's saying that this letter that she writes, telling her mom to do this, do that, about to go on an interview, saying certain things, talking trash about her sisters-in-law. She's saying that this is all part of her fictional mystery book where she's going to Mexico. She's trying to find these drugs. Her dad and her are trying to find drugs. And then she goes to Mexico prison. And then for some reason in her fictional mystery book, she uses the name of her lawyer, Sky. I guess she really likes that name. She tells Sky to sneak her in some white strips because the teeth are getting yellow because they drink coffee in Mexican prison. Oh my goodness. I bet you the sister-in-laws right now are just laughing. I don't know. This is secondhand embarrassment. Holy shit. Her excuse like 1,000 times worse than a letter. That's what I'm saying. Like, what is going on with her brain? Does she actually think anyone would believe that? Yeah. Now, I do want to read her defense response to the motion that the state did. So, again, state put in a motion to put I guess like a no contact order maybe between her and her mom, her brother, because they're saying that there's, she's trying to do some witness tampering. But I do want to read the state's doc though, because man, this might not make it. This might not make it to the jury. Let's see. I think it's this one right here. Now, when I talked about this letter initially, I did say that the letter was, this is what the defense is saying. Defense is saying the letter was found in this yellow envelope, and the yellow envelope was addressed to the lawyer, and it said like, I don't know, like attorney-client privileges or something like that. So I don't know if this is just going to be something where it's like, dude, we have something so good and juicy here, but the state may not be able to use it because maybe originally the way it was obtained, maybe it was unlawful. But yeah, let's just read it. I don't know. I just can't believe it. Oh my God. What a person. What a person. All right, we're going to read this. Again, this is filed by her defense. Introduction and relief requested. On May 31st, 2023, the state filed a motion for a gag order, claiming that it requested relief was necessary to prevent tainting of the jury pool and to protect Ms. Richins' right to a fair trial. In response to the state's motion on June 2nd, 2023, the court entered an order requiring compliance with Rule 36 of Utah's Rules of Professional Conduct, the gag order. The gag order prohibits the lawyer in this case from making any extrajudicial statement that the lawyer knows or reasonably should know will be disseminated by the means of public communication and will have a substantial likelihood of materially prejudicing the adjudicative proceeding in this matter. Nevertheless, today, September 15, 2023, the state filed a motion titled Walk the Dog Letter on the public docket in this case. Notably, the Walk the Dog Letter was not filed as an exhibit to a motion or pleading, nor was it filed pursuant to any rule of civil or criminal procedure. Instead, it was just an extrajudicial statement made for the apparent purpose of influencing the court of public opinion. I mean, I think he did a really good job of doing that. This letter is really damning. It looks really bad on her. Such behavior constitutes a blatant violation of the gag order entered on June 2nd, which the state requested. Because there's no doubt the state knew the gag order, because there's no doubt the state, A, knew about the gag order, B, had the ability to comply with the gag order, and C, willfully refused to do so, the court should find defendant in contempt and impose appropriate sanctions. The court should find defendant in contempt and impose, I think it meant to say the court should find the state in contempt and impose appropriate sanctions. All right, so they filed a gag order. The state did. And you know what? That kind of does make sense to me. It's like, okay, the state filed this gag order thing, so maybe potential, jury pools won't be contaminated. But it is interesting that this letter was released, though. Let's see. So these are the arguments that they're going to make, that the state knew there was a gag order. All this part I've already read. The state's filing was improper on several fronts. The filing is an extrajudicial statement made for the apparent purpose of influencing the court of public opinion. Such behavior is blatant violation of the gag order, which the state requests in the first instance. The state's intention was to improperly file the letter to taint the media, the jury pool, the public narrative, and has the added consequence of potentially tainting expected witnesses in this matter. Wait, they're saying that the state may have tainted potential witnesses? I mean, what about Kouri Richins over here? The filing was the logical equivalent of sending directly to the media or posting it online. Within minutes of the filing, media outlets will reach out to the defense for comment. This demonstrates a desired effect the state intended. It was made clear by its conduct that the state is indeed not concerned with the tainting of the jury pool and protecting Ms. Richins' right to a fair trial as outlined in its motion for a gag order. Oh, interesting. Okay, so they filed something, and in it had the letter, and the defense is saying, well, the reason why they really did this is because they want to taint the public opinion. They want the media to get a hold of this. Interesting. I want to see what the state's response to this will be. But I want to scroll down to... Notably, earlier this afternoon, the state also filed a motion for a no contact order. One of its assertions is to protect the integrity of the proceedings. It is imperative that the defendant not have contact with Lisa Darden, that's the mom, or Ronald Darden. More importantly, to protect the integrity of the proceeding, the state must discontinue its improper behavior in disregard for the applicable governing law and orders in this matter. In addition to the issues surrounding the retrieval of the document in the first instance, the state's improper filings for September 15, the state's motion for a no contact order, wholly misconstrues the contents of the letter and alleges witness tampering within a legitimate or good faith basis. Further, there's no evidence that Ms. Richins has ever done anything with the letter in question. Oh no, are they saying that it was in her possession, but it wasn't sent to the recipient yet, so therefore she hasn't done any harm? And maybe she didn't even intend to. Ms. Richins' mother never received the letter yet. Likewise, as related to any other letters that the state refers to, there is nothing improper or illegal about writing something down and sharing it. The state presents no evidence at all that Ms. Richins has destroyed or flushed letters or used its basis or lack of to attempt to reach beyond the bounds of the laws. Oh my goodness. How are they defending this? There's no evidence that Ms. Richins witness tampered or that any information was conveyed to Lisa or Ronald. Ms. Richins retains and reserves her right to file any necessary motions or responsive pleadings, such as motions suppressed and otherwise, as related to the state's recent findings. Oh, man. As an important and related aside, since the outset of this case, the state has engaged in improper conduct related to the dissemination and production of private records information. For instance, on May 28th, the state filed and disseminated sensitive information that should have been classified as private. Okay, so we're going back to some other stuff that happened. I think they had her social security number and joint bank account. But I feel like they already addressed this, so I don't know why we're bringing this up again. Just to show how bad the state is. Conclusion: with the foregoing reason, the state should issue any appropriate contempt sanctions, including but not limited to striking the walk the dog letter from the docket. No, don't do that. Or in the alternative, designating it as a private record and reasonable attorney's fees incurring, bringing in this motion. But you know, they might have a case though, because this is where the letter was found. This is citing the gag order from May/June. Yeah, I don't know. Can't wait to hear the judge's ruling. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the exhibit. Oh, this is the exhibit right here. Let me see if I can zoom out. Zoom out. So, what do you guys think? This is where the letter was found in. It's addressed to the lawyer, and it says attorney privilege. Now, I get it that the prison probably was like, whoa, where did she get this? Why is this here? And maybe they thought there was contraband inside, and that's probably why they initially opened it. But yeah, I don't know. Be really interesting. Hi, Jeannie. Hello, hello. I think that's about. Zoom back in. Sorry, it's like a whole mess. I think that's about it. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if it's actually going to go anywhere. Because again, like it does say attorney privilege, but maybe the prison had a right to search it because it could have just been contraband. I don't know. But it's weird because the file. Oh, sorry, you just deleted it. They're not allowed to listen to any calls you have your lawyer, read any mail that comes from you and goes to your lawyer, but they can't read all your other mail. Yeah, because I would assume like, you know, attorney-client privilege, but I don't know. I'm curious to see what the judge is going to say about this one or the state's response. I did hear about that. Filing said it was hidden in a book. I did hear about that. And that's why they're like, yeah, they decided to like, what's it called? Open it or something. So they don't consider that to be legal from a lawyer because it doesn't have the attorney stamp or address on it. Oh, it has her handwriting. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. So it's not considered legal work. Interesting. I don't know, but I mean, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how things work in a prison, but we'll see what it says. But I think this letter makes it look so bad, and the fact that she tries to cover it up in this phone call by saying that they're a part of my freaking book. It's not a letter to you guys. I'm writing this fictional mystery book. I go to Mexico with my dad, and then like I'm in this Mexico prison, and then I ask my lawyer, who has the same name as my lawyer in real life, to get me white strips. And I don't know. It's just wild. The extent that people will go to lie and cover up, because that letter was not vague whatsoever. It was pretty straight to the point. I was going to say she might have a case because they went through her legal work folder to find it, but that's not how I saw it. She has no case because it's not an official lawyer envelope. Okay. Yeah, we'll see what the judge says because I'm very curious as well. Let's see if there's any update with, I think that's about it that I wanted to cover for today. So if you guys missed it earlier, today we talked about Jodi Hildebrandt and the search warrant that was executed on her property, how they recovered some items, electronics as well. And in that search warrant, it was mentioned that the child said that they, whoever they was, maybe Jodi Hildebrandt, maybe Ruth Frankie, maybe Jodi Hildebrandt and someone else, but they would put cayenne pepper and honey on their wounds, which is, sounds like it hurts. I don't know, maybe next time I have a cut or something, I'll put some cayenne pepper to see what happens. But that sounds like it could be very painful. And maybe honey was used to make the cayenne pepper stick, or maybe honey was used as a way to like reverse, or not to reverse, but to like, hey, we're going to use cayenne pepper to punish you. And then we'll use honey to show you that we're actually not that cruel. We're actually not that mean, but we'll see. Other than that, we also covered Kouri Richins and her damning letter that she sent, or didn't send yet, sorry, that she had in her possession in her jail cell, that was revealed in a motion that was filed from the state, and her excuse about it. Oh man, Kouri Richins sounds like a real A real piece of work. Was there anything else that we wanted to chat about? I think in the Brian Koberger case, I think they decided not to allow cameras in the courtrooms, right? I don't know. I haven't really been caught up with that. But yeah, that's about it. Was there anything else you guys wanted to chat about? I feel like there's been a lot going on this week. And I just started looking at all the YouTube stuff recently. Oh, next week, by the way, we'll have Taylor Shabusiness. Her sentencing is going to happen. Next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we're going to have the sentencing of Taylor Shabusiness. Taylor Shabusiness had her trial recently, verdict guilty. Now, what's interesting about her trial was that it was in 2 phases. It was in the, I think it was the, what were the 2 phases? First phase was like whether or not she was mentally competent or not. And then the second phase was like the guilt phase, right? Yeah, whether or not she actually did it. So very interesting. But the sentencing is now happening. She's accused of a lot of things. But just the summary of it, she's accused of essentially decapitating her longtime friend / potential lover. And yeah, apparently the mom went down to the basement and found her son's head in the bucket. And yeah, it's just crazy. I feel bad for the mom. I don't really understand how she'd been so stupid to write that letter. Her lawyer must hate her right now because she's making her job 1,000 times harder. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When the lawyer found out about this, lawyer's probably like, oh my God, like eyeballs popping out of that face. Oof. I love the pictures of your dog. Oh, thanks. I'm working on an art project right now. That's why there's like, it's like, yeah. It's like everywhere. But yeah, this is Steve right here. I just finished editing a vlog that because I usually try to vlog like every month or maybe like twice a month, but I didn't get a chance to because we're just really busy with other stuff. And yeah, I just finished doing a vlog for the first 6 months of this year, and then getting into like what happened with like Steve, because he's deceased now, but like what happened with Steve, and doing a little like thing for Steve and like his life and stuff like that. So I've been working on that, and oh man, it's been so sad. I've just been freaking crying and editing and stuff like that. It's hard. But yeah. Anyways, I think today, I think we're just gonna end it here, and then I'm gonna do. We're gonna stop playing this game and let everyone know that we're getting married. I'm tired of everyone not knowing about us. What are you talking about? Why? That just took like a huge turn. Is there a heaven for G? All right. Hovering over name right now. Yeah, he passed away, so it's so sad. Poor little Bubby. A red flag should have been when she... A red flag should have been when... A red flag should have been raised when she legally changed her name to Shabusiness. Yeah, I heard that their last name was something else. It was like something else, and then she changed it like Shabusiness because they thought it was more catchy. Just jokes, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, I don't appreciate jokes like that here, and no thank you. Like, I don't know. If people are gonna be weird and drop some weird shit like that and then try to like pass it off as jokes, I usually just kick you out, but I'll give you another chance. So, because you've been normal so far, and I don't know, maybe people just like to give their shot at the end, but I'm good, thanks. I'm usually pretty harsh with people, but I'm kind of in a chill mood right now. Dang, I like hanging out. Well, I'm gonna end my stream, and then I'm probably just gonna go do like some, I don't know, should I game today? I think I'm gonna just because I usually stream on Twitch as well. I do like video games on there. I haven't streamed this week, so maybe I'll go on Twitch and do that. And yeah. Some woman named her son, no way. Methamphetamine, no way. I've heard some like really bad names that people give their kids. I remember hearing about some woman that named her kid like Pig or something. But I don't know, like when you're at the hospital or like when you're the ones that like is processing, you know, like doing the paperwork and all that. I mean, could that really get approved? It was honestly a joke. I didn't mean anything about it. I apologize. I accept your apology. Yeah, I don't know. Being like a female streamer, you get like a lot of really weird people like saying weird shit, and sometimes like you're just kind of like over it. I don't know. It's kind of annoying. But I mean, I get it. It's a joke. But at the same time, not really. Also, like, it's your first time here. I feel like usually when it's people's first time here, they kind of like test the waters to see like what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. Or you kind of just sit back and wait and see like, okay, like let's see how this person is and let's see like, you know, what are some jokes that are okay and then like what are not okay. But I don't know. Some people just shoot their shot on the first time. Jokes could be not okay too, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just like depends on what it is. But I mean, this wasn't too bad of a comment. But some people will say like some really weird, fucking weird shit. And they'll just be like, oh, why are you getting mad? It's just a joke at the end of the day. Here in Latin America, there is a boy called Us Navy. He was featured on the news. Poor kid. Us Navi? Us Navi. Usnavi? What does that mean? What does it sound like? I don't get that one. Usnavi? Us Navi? I don't think I've heard of that one before. Oh, U.S. Navy? Oh, but then it would be pronounced as like, it wouldn't be pronounced U.S. Navy though. It'd just be pronounced like Us Navy, right? Unless people were taking his name and mispronouncing it, maybe. So, yeah. I didn't think about it like that, but you do have a point. I honestly wasn't shooting my shot whatsoever. I didn't even think about it like that. I didn't mean to be rude. I feel horrible now. All right, you good. We accept your apology. We can move on. Oh, man. The worst are when parents name their kids brand names to win money or prizes. Listen. My mom almost named me Chanel, okay? Like the Chanel brand, the brand that she wasn't even able to afford. I don't know. I'm so glad she didn't. She almost named me Chanel, but would have been funny if she spelled it wrong. It was a joke to never simp for anyone in my life. It was definitely like a simp comment though, so I can understand why people would think that it was type like a simp thing. Yeah. I don't know what to do today. I don't know. I'm about to end my stream. When I was a teenager, I wanted my future names to be like, I think Portia is kind of cute. Like Portia. I think that's a cute name, Portia. But if it's spelled like Portia, like the car, nah. Or if it's spelled like Portia or like this, I don't know. Nah. I think Portia, like Portia is kind of cute. I forgot to catch up the stupid comment. Oh. What is a simp? Simp is like a term that I don't know. I think it came from Twitch or something. It's just like a term for like guys who like how do I use the term without using the actual term in the definition? Let's see what Google says. I don't know. It's when you simp for girls. I know the definition is like silly or foolish person, but it's evolved from that. Simp is an internet slang term describing someone who shows excessive sympathy and attention towards a person. Typically, is someone who does not. It's mostly like towards like internet people. That is Elon's kid name. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, sometimes people say that towards celebrities too. Like I simp over Taylor Swift. Yeah. So it could be used like jokingly, or it could be used as like a derogatory. Their baby Hitler. The state forced him to change the name. I don't know why you would do that. All right, y'all. I think that's about it. If you guys missed any parts of today's stream, today we covered Jodi Hildebrandt and the search warrant. And then we talked about Kouri Richins and the letter that she wrote that makes her look really fucking bad. So, yeah. Let me know what your guys' thoughts about that is. We'll be back again, I don't know, like next week, I think. Depends if anything pops up. But next week, we have the Taylor Swift business sentencing. Her entire trial was live, so I'm assuming that's going to be live as well. But we'll have her sentencing up, and I don't know, man. I have like mixed feelings with the Taylor Swift business one. That one's a crazy one. That one's really wild. But I do think that mentally, like, something is up. You know, something's up with her. Have an awesome night. Bye, Gwen. Have a good one. It could be a woman as well. It could be man or woman. Yeah. Like, for example, like people can simp for like their favorite like K-star, like K-pop stars, whatever. I don't accept any tea swizzle slander here. All right, y'all. I hope you guys have a good one. Take care. Go outside, get some fresh air. You know, hang out with your baby doggos and cats and all that. No, I haven't heard anything with the Murdoch stuff. So sorry. The only thing so far was I thought it was really funny that Harpootlian and Jim Griffin did a press conference, and one of the first things that came out of Harpootlian's mouth was telling SLED, which is a South Carolina law enforcement, telling them to step down and not get involved or investigate the matter regarding Rebecca Hill, the court of clerk, right? However, However, the state general was supposed to make a response apparently like last Friday, but the only response was that they had SLED, so which is essentially the agency that Harpootlian didn't want to get involved. But the state general got the SLED to be involved in this investigation with the court of clerk. And so far, they've said that, I don't want to misquote this. Hold on. Murdaugh State General. Murdoch's legal team. Murdoch's legal team filed something new. Interesting. Is something else? Oh, State Carolina Attorney General cites factual disputes with Murdaugh jury tampering claims. So we'll see what happens with that. That's all the information I got so far. So I don't know the details about it. It's just very vague. Oh yeah, I hope you guys have a good weekend. Happy Thursday, happy Friday. I don't have any information with Chad Dorman. You know, I looked up his case and there hasn't been any information popping up on there. Let me just look it up really quick. Yeah, I have not heard anything with Chad Dorman. I did hear that there was a Chad Dorman almost copycat though. There was also a man, wife, and their kids were found shot, and then later on the police did their investigation and they believe that the man shot his wife, kids, and then himself afterwards. But yeah, crazy. Really? For Dorman? Let me see. I'm looking at court view right now. What are they doing tomorrow for the court date? Can you link it for me, Madison? Are you in my Discord? Criminal. Filed it. Oh, here it is. Aggravated murder. Give me a second. Yeah, you're watching your 4-year-old nephew have a kickboxing fight. Bless them. With who? Who's the guy that got arrested for murder who did it in 96? No idea. I have no idea. There's so many things going on. 1996. Hold, please. Shall hold. Let's see. Disposition date. Docket, maybe? Yeah, I don't know. The case that I have in court view, there hasn't been any updates or anything like that. Maybe they transferred over to somewhere else. The court clerk, for the Murdaugh stuff, she's been accused of jury tampering. So we'll see what happens with that. She wrote a book about it after the trial happened, and apparently there's some people that were on the jury that weren't happy with what she said in the book. Me watching the chaos. Every time people put those emojis together, it looks so creepy with the eyes and the lips. Okay, so let's see. Madison said they found it on Reddit. Let's see. Chad Dorman Reddit. The next court date is September 22nd. All right, I'll take a look into this. Reddit next court date. What's the name of the Reddit thread? Is it just like Chad Dorman or? I haven't seen anything here. Yeah, the accusations are wild. It's a lot of he said, she said, apparently, you know. So we'll see. But what I want to know is if they ever do formally investigate this and they have those jury up there. I want to know if they're going to say the same thing under oath, you know. So we'll see. We shall see what happens. I think initially it sounded like it was solid, but then when I was reading it, I was like, I'm not really quite too sure about this one, but we'll see. Okay. Yeah, Madison, if you do find out any information, I don't know if you're in my Discord or not, just feel free to post information there. It is in the Discord. Discord, feel free to join it. We have a true crime section. Y'all can go in there and chat about it. And yeah, I don't know. I'll take a look at this Chad Dorman stuff to see if there's an information. I don't know what's going on tomorrow. I just know we have Taylorship business next week. And then there are some other dates for, like, for example, Kouri Richins, but that's all the way in November. So, yeah. I don't see anything on here. Typed in Chad Dorman Reddit next court case. All right, well, I'll take a look. But let me know Feel free to join the Discord if you guys like. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting. I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for lurking. And if you guys miss any parts of the stream will be live. And I think I might chop up the video. So like if you want to watch one segment or another segment, I should have it up in case you guys missed it. And I try to like keep it a little bit shorter, but we'll see. You're trying to chat the work now. Focus on the work. You're good. Have a good one, guys. Take care. I will see y'all later. I will possibly stream on Twitch and I play video games on there. If you guys are interested, feel free to stop by. And same online moniker. And other than that, I hope you guys have a good one. All right. Take care.